Welcome to this video on importing your articles into Covidence. So this is pretty much going to show you how to go into each of our databases, extract all the articles, and get it into our software program that we normally use for scoping reviews and symptomatic reviews is called Covidence. It does a wonderful job of our review process. So to get started, you will need your library open so we can get into our databases. You'll need your search string document with all of your translated search strings. You will need your Covidence project open, and then you can have PubMed. We'll get PubMed open because we're going to be using that as well. Click on that, and then also I'm going to show you guys how to do MedRx, which is one of our great literature platforms. We'll work with that. So to get started, and then you also need your citation manager open as well. When I'm working with gray literature, prefer Zotero, but you can use EndNote as well or Mendeley. I will be showing based off of Zotero today for this video. So let's go ahead and start up at the top. We're going to start with PubMed here. So what you're going to do is you're going to copy this search string. I do use EndNote as well. So for like PubMed, we're going to be able to extract the articles out as a whole, and then we can put them into EndNote. So that's the difference of me using both of the platforms. So I'm going to go ahead and get my EndNote up as well. So if I have to do articles individually, I use Zotero because of the extension. It seems to work the best. If I have a large file that I just need to take from a platform like PubMed and get it into the correct format of an RIS file, which is what Covidence takes, I use my EndNote. So while EndNote is loading, let's go ahead. We've already copied our search string here. Let's go ahead and come into PubMed. We're going to click on Advanced. Right here where it says the query box, we're just going to paste our search string here, and we're going to go ahead and hit search. What we want to do before we extract our articles out of here is we want to make sure our date range is set to what we are planning on using. So this project is going to go from 25. So here's our result number. So we want to definitely check and make sure we have on our search string the exact number. So my numbers are changed a little. So that is where we're at with that. Because this is a large number, I do recommend that you break this down into smaller pieces. One, EndNote does not like large files, and neither does Covidence. So the way I would break this down is actually doing it by sections of date range. I try to keep it under 1500 as much as possible. So right now we're down to 2005 to 2010. We're at 14. So that should be a doable number. So we can hit send to citation manager. And then right here it says all results on this page. You want to change it to all results. This will capture everything that is there. And then you'll hit create file. It will then come up into your downloads. This is also a good thing as well to have like a folder off to the side. So I'm just going to go ahead and create a folder. I'm just going to title mine import articles. Okay. And then I'm going to drag this one up and over to there. So that way I know it's sitting there waiting. So now that I've done to 2010, we're going to adjust our search string here. And we're going to kind of move this one out. And then this one from 05, we're going to move to 13. So we still have quite a few results. So I'm going to make this side smaller. Let's go to 2019, see where we're at. Oh, when you go down a little bit more. 2017. All right, so now we're at 2015. So we can just hit send to citation manager, all results, and then create file. Again, I'm going to take this file. once it downloads, and put it right into my folder that I just created. So then you would just continue that process until you get all of your articles out. So that is how you extract the articles out of PubMed. Now what we're going to do, second step, would be coming into EndNote. We're going to go to create a collect, and then we're going to do import. From there, you can select your file. So I can just go straight to my desktop here. Go to my importing articles. I'm going to grab the first one here. We're going to choose PubMed, since this is coming from PubMed. And then you can select whichever folder you want to put it in. I have mine ordered by database name. So I know this is PubMed, but I already have stuff in PubMed. So I'm just going to go ahead and select clinical trials for this one. All right, so that's going to sit here and import. It's going to take a little bit. And this is the reason why I say to use small numbers as possible, because it will take a while to get into EndNote. EndNote will time out if there is large numbers. So that's why I say be cautious of that. Okay, so while that's working, I'm going to go ahead and come down to CINAHL. So we're going to go ahead and copy our search string for CINAHL. And once that gets in there, we'll go back to it. All right, so just a reminder, to get to the library, you need to be through your apps, myapps.microsoft.com, click on library. It'll bring you in to our library page. You can click on databases from there. And since we're working on CINAHL, we're going to click on the letter C, and then we'll scroll down to CINAHL here. All right, since our search string's already been translated, we could just put it right there in that first box. We do need to remember to go to search options and remove these two expanders. So once you do that, you can hit search. And then what we'll need to do is add our filter in for our date range again. So you just click on filters, it will pop up over here. So you hit publication date, then we're going to do custom date range. And then you just hit apply. So you put your date range in there and hit apply. Okay. So we just want to make sure our result number matches, which it does. So we're good there. So what you're going to do to export these ones out is this little box, or this box here. Next to it, you see this little down arrow. You're going to click on that. Right here where it says export results is what you're going to click on. It will pop up asking you to sign in. You'll just click sign in. If you don't get this, that means you're already signed in, so which is perfectly fine. So once you do that, it will give you this little window. It says export results. You're going to put your email in, and then you want to click on the RIS file, because that's what we're going to want to use, and then hit send. I have never seen it take over 24 hours, but we'll monitor my email and we'll see that one as well. So we'll wait until that one comes in. We're going to pop back over to EndNote here. As you can see, they have gone into our clinical trials folder. So if we go back to our references here, you can see down here under clinical trials, I have my articles. So now to get them out of here into the correct folder, what we're going to do is go to Format, go to Export References, and then we're going to click that clinical trials one. And then we're going to click the RIS export, and then you can hit save. So what this is going to do is it's going to create me that file that we can get up into our Covidence project. So we'll let this load here, and then we'll pop into my email real quick and see if CINAHL has come over. Okay, so that just came into my downloads here. So I'm going to move this over to my exporting folder. And now I am actually going to rename this so that way I know this is PubMed. Now, if you have multiple files, as you saw, we're going to have multiples. You could just put numbers at the end to make sure that you have them all. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pop into my email real quick here. I did not get it yet from EBSCO, so we'll check on that in a little bit. So let's go ahead and pop into our Covidence project here. We're going to go ahead and get our PubMed into it. So we're going to go ahead and click on import here. And then we're going to select to screening. So you want to make sure you are on screening. And then you're going to select your source. It says optional, do it anyways. The reason why is because this information does plug over into your Prisma flowchart. So if you don't have it now, then your Prisma flowchart is not going to be accurate, and then you're going to have to try figuring out what source is what. So ignore the optional and make it mandatory to make sure you have them. If your resource is not listed here, for example, SportDiscus is one of them that we will be reviewing here shortly, you can actually click right here. It says manage source. You can put in SportDiscus, hit add, and then we're also doing MedRx. So B, and we can hit add. So this will add them in. So if there's other ones, you can just do that. So once we select our source, you're going to go ahead and select your file. I'm going to hit PubMed and I'm going to do import. So this is the way to do PubMed. So you will start in PubMed, break down your date range as needed. If you have large number, then after that, you move it into EndNote, or you can even do Zotero. It's really up to you if you want to just use one platform. And then you export it out of your citation manager as an RIS file, and then you can import it into your references in Covidence. So that is how you work your PubMed. So let me jump back into my email here. I'm not kidding. So I have not received CINAHL yet. So while we're waiting for CINAHL, this one's going to import. Let's go ahead and move into SportDiscus. So actually, let's go ahead and go to Scopus. Let's do Scopus real quick. So we're going to go ahead and skip down to Scopus. We're going to go back to our A to Z database list and click on the letter S. And then we're going to just scroll down to Scopus here. And then what you're going to do is click on Advanced Search. So you want to make sure you're in Start Exploring. And if you are, go ahead and click on Advanced Search. If you're not, click Search first. It should automatically default you to Start Exploring. So if you don't see Start Exploring, hit Search and it'll bring you to this. Then you can click on Advanced Document. And right here it says Enter Query String. You just paste in your translated search string and hit Search. All right, next thing you're going to want to do is your filters. Again, we're going to do our date range. This one also is a large file, large number. So again, I would recommend that you break it out into smaller chunks. So I would go maybe 2017. Let's go down low, maybe 2015. So 2015 should be good. Since you're not having to go from PubMed, where we went from PubMed into a citation database into exporting out of Citation Manager into Covidence. Since this one does give you the correct file, you can go a little bit larger on these. So what you're doing, so we're going to just do 05 to 2015. We're going to go ahead and hit export RIS. This is a key thing that you want to look at is right here. You want to make sure you click on documents, put 1, and then put your last one that is in this set. If you leave it as documents, all documents on this page, it's only going to give you that first page. So this will give you everything between 2005 and 2015. The other thing you want to do is make sure you check all these boxes down below. This information will be helpful if you are going to be exporting this article at the very end and using it for your final write-up paper. So once you get all that set, you can hit export. So you can see down here, it's exporting for us. So we'll let this one export out and then we'll get it into Covidence as well. So once this one exports, there it goes. Then you can come back in here and change your date range. So you would then change to 2016. So I would move this one over here. And then I would update this one to 2016 to 25. And then, yeah, so you're probably going to have 3 files for this one. So yeah, so your next file would be 2016 to 2019, and then your last file will be 2020 to 25. So that's how I would do this. I'm not going to do all of them. I'm just kind of giving you guys a demo on how to do this. So I'm going to move this file into my folder that I've created. I'm going to rename this as just Scopus. And because I will have 3 files, I can do Scopus 1. So that way it's consistent with our other ones. So now what we're going to do is we're actually going to go into our review here. Okay, so now you can see if you hit view, you can see how many were added to screening, how many duplicates there are, you can see your source. So we can move forward now with importing more. So you just, so when we're on that screen, so when you're in the view details screen, you just click on import from file. And then again, you're going to click on screening. This one is coming from Scopus. So we're going to select Scopus. And then we're going to click that number 1. And then we're going to hit import. So this will now import that file for us. So we'll go ahead and let that import in. I'm going to go ahead and pop into my email here. You can see right here, my very first one, it says search result export. It does come from EBSCO. It does have your search string here. Then you will hit download metadata. This will then download it. So I'm going to drag this file over to my folder. I'm going to rename this because this came from CINAHL. And now this one is ready to go in as well. So we can go back to import here. You can hit view details or you can hit the blue button where it says import. So you can go to screening and then we're going to click on CINAHL. And then we're going to choose our CINAHL file. We'll just hit import. So now this one is now going to start importing as well. So that is how you do Scopus, CINAHL, and PubMed. So let's go ahead and look at SportDiscus as well. So we're going to go ahead and close out of CINAHL. We're done with closing out of Scopus as well, and we can close out of PubMed. We're done with those ones. All right, so let's go back to our search string. Let's go up to SportDiscus. And the reason why I kind of do all of my EBSCO ones differently, I do like CINAHL and then I do one of the other ones and then come back to an EBSCO because when EBSCO sends you the email, it doesn't tell you what database it's from. So then you have to remember what database you just did and which one is from which. So it's just easier to do one and then go work on another platform until you get that email, delete that email, and then do your next EBSCO one. So let's go ahead and go back to our A to Z. We're going to go ahead and click on SportDiscus. All right, we're going to put our search string here in the very first box. We are going to go to our search options here, and we're going to remove these two as well, our expanders, and then we're going to hit search. All right, and then we're going to apply our date range filter. Okay. And then you just want to double check, make sure your number matches your search string document. So we're good there. And then you're just going to click again. Don't click on the box. You can click on the box, but when you hit download, it won't give you the correct options. So just make sure you click at the down arrow, and this will give you the proper options that you need. So like I said before, we've signed in when we were doing CINAHL, so it automatically brought me to my results page. You click the RIS and hit send. This will now send you your next file. So we'll keep an eye on that one. I do want to show you guys also Cochrane library. So I'm going to go back into my Polygot real quick. I still have my search string in here, so I'm going to just grab Cochrane here. And I'm going to just pull this one. I'm going to go to A to Z database here. I'm going to go into the letter C. And then we're going to go in down to Cochrane library here. So once you come into Cochrane, you're going to hit Advanced Search. And then you're going to go to just Search Manager. Right here in this box, box 1, you're just going to put your search string in, hit Continue, and then you'll see your result number right here. You're going to click on this number, and then it will give you your actual results so you can review. Okay. So you can see that we have multiple different tabs across the top. I recommend that you pull each one of these out. So what you're going to do is hit select all, and then you're going to hit export selected citations. Then you are going to, you can use any of these IRS. I always use the reference one because it tends to work the best. And then you want to make sure it says include abstracts so that way you can actually see the abstracts when you're doing that type of review. And then you're just going to hit download. And this one downloads for me, so I'm going to pull this into my folder as well and rename it as Cochrane Library 1. And then we can go ahead and close out of this, and then you can move to, I'll just do trials, and then you guys will have to do the other tabs, but if you do trials, you just do the same thing. it will show up all your trials. Again, you're going to hit export. We need to do our date range. My apologies. Let's double check. Okay. So for Cochrane, for your end date, you can't do December. It's making me do June. Oh, because I have it backwards. Okay. Let's do this. Okay. Let's go to December. And then let's go to 2024. 24, yes. Actually, then, yeah, let's just do June of 25. Okay, so it doesn't go to 24, which is weird. Okay, let's redo this. Okay, let's just do it this way. And then we'll hit apply. This will probably change our numbers a little bit. Okay, it didn't change our numbers, so we're okay. So on your documentation sheet for Cochrane, you are going to want to basically put down 26 plus 1 plus the 3,242 plus 1. So you add all these numbers together when you are documenting it on your sheet. So again, we're going to go ahead and we've already selected them all. We're going to go ahead and export, and then we're going to hit reference and then hit download. So once this downloads, this will become number 2, and then your other tabs will be 3 and 4. So that's how you can kind of keep all of them tracking. So you can see it's going to give you a countdown on your percentage. While that is working, let's pop into my email and let's see if our other SportDiscus has shown up here. So as you can see, here's our first file. So it doesn't tell me. And then this is our second one. So the only way you can really tell, especially between SportDiscus and CINAHL, would be your subject headings, like the MH, and this one is DE. So that's the only way to know. But if you use like Education Source Complete, Eric, they will also have the DE. So just keep that in mind. It's really up to you on how you want to do your pulling of files. So I'm going to go ahead and do download metadata. And then I am going to pull this one over into here as well. And then we're going to I'm just going to label this as SportDiscus here. Okay, so that one also downloaded. So citation 8 is our Cochrane library 2. All right, so now we got some more files that we need to, I'm going to go ahead and close out of Cochrane. And I'm also going to close out of SportDiscus because we're done with those. So I'm going to go ahead and move back into Covidence. Let's go ahead and get these files that we just exported out into here. So the import history is also nice because it shows you which files you've done and which ones we still need to do. So we need to pull in a Cochrane, we still need to pull in Scopus and also SportDiscus. So let's go ahead and do those. So we're going to go back to import file. We're going to go to screening again. And then this time we're going to go ahead and do Scopus. We're going to hit select file and we're going to select our Scopus. And then we hit import. Okay, while that one's importing, you can hit view details, import file, and this will get you going for the next one. So we'll hit screening and then let's do SportDiscus. We'll grab the SportDiscus one, import, and then we'll do Cochrane library next. Okay, we'll hit view details again, import file, Then we're going to go to screening. And then let's see. So like Cochrane library is not in here. So let's hit manage source and let's get Cochrane in here. Library. We can hit add. Okay, so then we're going to go ahead and choose Cochrane. So we got screening, we got our platform, and then we got our file, and we can hit import. So that is how you would get through all of the database side. So those ones are pretty easy. All right, so let's go ahead and move into our gray literature. So let me pull my search string for gray lit. So we're working with MedRx. Gray lit is very finicky when it comes to doing its searches. So this will be your result number. If you need to do date range, you will click on advanced search. You will put your search here, and this is where you can do your date range. Then you can hit search from there. Okay, so our results didn't change. So with MedRx, there's two different ways you can do this. You can hit add citations, where you are adding them here, which can get tedious and time consuming because sometimes it doesn't let you move forward in pages. So you have to remember, okay, after these 10, I have to remove them and then re-add them. For me, I'd rather just open in a new tab. I just do about 3 or 4 of them. And then once they load, I have my Sortero extension here. You can use EndNote as well. EndNote has an extension as well. So if I click on that, what it does, it will actually bring it straight into my Covidence or my Sortero here. So I'm going to just add these 4 real quick, and I'll show you how to get them out of Sortero and into. And then once I usually close them out once I get them done, that I know they're done. And then let's add this last one. So those ones have been added. So now I have my 4 here. So to get them out of Zotero, we're going to just click them all, just highlight them all. You're going to do like a right click on your mouse and hit export items. Then you want to make sure it's defaulted to the RIS file. You want to make sure you have your notes as well, and then hit OK. Then you can, so I'm going to go back to my desktop. I'm going to select my folder. And I'm going to label this and then hit save. So now my file is here and ready to go. So now I can go back into my Covidence project, hit view details, import file, and then this is where we can hit screening again, and then we can select MedRx, and then we can select our file. And then we can hit import, and this will import it in. So this is how to do gray literature and also getting your articles extracted from PubMed in all the different databases. So once you hit view details, you can see all of your information here. You can see these ones are still in progress. These ones are done, so you can see how many duplicates have been removed. And when you pull up your Prisma flow chart up here, it will show all of that information for you. Because there's still some importing, it will not populate at this time, but you can check out Prisma after everything is imported in. After you get everything imported in, you will see your next section of title abstract. You can see your number of screening and you can get started. If you have any questions about getting articles extracted from the different databases and imported into Covidence, please feel free to reach out to your library liaison. We are here to help you and to guide you through this process.